a model which was Italian at the beginning. So we are always ready to bring our proposals for peace, for dialogue. It's something we have to build together to guarantee peace and to defend the security of our nation. So thank you, Mr. President, for hosting us.
Thank you very much.
Giorgia Meloni right there. So they're talking about peace, and it's interesting because Trump brought up actual boots on the ground earlier. Oh, it's Macron. What does he have to say? My wife could not, my wife husband could not show up.
Everybody around this table is in favor of peace. And we work very hard, and we've worked very hard during the past few years to have a peace which is a robust and long-standing peace. This is why the idea of a trilateral meeting is very important, because this is the only way to fix it. And by the way, I think as a follow-up, we would need probably a quadrilateral meeting, because when we speak about security guarantees, we speak about the whole security of the European continent. And this is why we are all united here with Ukraine on this matter. In order to organize such a trilateral meeting, your idea to ask for a truce or a ceasefire, at least to stop the killings, as we discussed, is a necessity. And we all support this idea. And in order to have such a long-standing peace for Ukraine and for the whole continent, we do need these security guarantees. And the first one is clearly a credible Ukrainian army for the years and decades to come. And the second one is our own commitment, all of us. And we worked very hard during the past few months amongst the coalition of the willings, with the support of NATO, to build the different pillars of security guarantees and our commitments. And you can be sure that Europeans are very lucid about the fact that they have their fair share in these security guarantees for Ukraine, but their own security is clearly at stake in this situation. So you can count on us, as we can count on you, in order to deliver this robust peace for both Ukraine and Europe.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you for hosting us here.
This is Keir Starmer now.
Can I start where Emmanuel started, which is we all want peace. The war in Ukraine has had a huge impact, particularly on the Ukrainians who've borne the brunt of it, but it's also had an impact on Europe and on the United Kingdom. There's not a family or community that hasn't been affected. And when we talk about security, we're talking about the security not just of Ukraine, we're talking about the security of Europe and the United Kingdom as well, which is why this is such an important issue. I think this is such an important meeting. As a group, I think we've had a discussion on the phone a number of times, Mr. President, but be able now to be around the table to take it forward. And I really feel that we can, I think, with the right approach this afternoon, make real progress, particularly on the security guarantees, and your indication of security guarantees of some sort of Article 5 style guarantees fits with what we've been doing with the Coalition of the Willing, which we started some months ago, bringing countries together and showing that we were prepared to step up to the plate when it came to security. With you coming alongside, the US alongside what we've already developed, I think we could take a really important step forward today. A historic step, actually, could come out of this meeting in terms of security for Ukraine and security in Europe. I also feel that we can make real progress towards a just and lasting outcome. Obviously, that has to involve Ukraine, and a trilateral meeting seems the sensible next step. So thank you for being prepared to take that forward, because I think if we can ensure that that is the progress out of this meeting, both security guarantees and some sort of progress on trilateral meeting of some sort to bring some of the difficult issues to a head, then I think today will be seen as a very important day in recent years in relation to a conflict which has gone on for 3 and a bit years, and so far nobody's been able to bring it to this point. So I thank you for that.
Listening to them talk about all this around the big table today, and you've got Trump talking earlier today to Zelensky, who did show up, and he was kind of in a suit, much better, well-dressed. There wasn't chaos like there was last time. Trump sitting down, talking to everybody now. We'll chime in a little bit of that.
Alex, I'd like you to say a couple of words, too. You're a young, powerful man. Before I finish up, I want you to say a couple of words. Go ahead.
I'll take the notion of youth back to my wife and try to convince her. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think in the past 2 weeks, we've probably had more progress in ending this war than we have in the past 3.5 years. And I think the fact that we're around this table today is very much symbolic in the sense that it's Team Europe and Team United States helping Ukraine. And the progress that we're looking out of this meeting is about the security guarantees, which are a big part of this. And then, of course, moving towards a process with a trilateral meeting with you and President Putin and President Zelensky. Some of the international media might wonder, why is the President of Finland here? I think the reason is probably that we might come from a small country, but we have a long border with Russia, over 800 miles. And we, of course, have our own historical experience with Russia from World War II, the Winter War and the War of Continuation. And if I look at the silver lining of where we stand right now, we found a solution in 1944, and I'm sure that we'll be able to find a solution in 2025 to end Russia's war of aggression and find and get a lasting and just peace. The situation is very difficult, but that's why we're here.
Thank you, Alex, very much. Good job. So we're going to be meeting for a while, and we're going to discuss some of the issues. And I don't think there's any issue that's overly complex. It's at a point now where people want to do things. I really do believe. I've known him for a long time. I've always had a great relationship with him. I think that President Putin wants to find an answer too. And we'll see. And in a certain period of time, not very far from now, a week or 2 weeks, we're going to know whether or not we're going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue. We'll do our best to get it ended. And I believe you have two willing parties, and usually that's good news, but two willing parties that want to make a deal. And we'll journey together, and we'll go over, and we'll see if it can be done. And it's possible it might not be able to be done. On the other hand, it's possible it will. And we're going to save thousands and thousands of lives a week. And so it's something we really have to do. And or at least we have to give it our best. It's all you can do. You can give it your best. But I think we may have a very good outcome. So I want to thank you all, and the media.
All right,
I want
we're
to thank
just listening
you.
to them. It's a roundtable situation where all of the people that have come from the European Union, on top of the fact that you've got Keir Starmer from the UK, and then you've got Zelensky there as well, as they talk about they're getting ready to actually have the meeting where they sit down and discuss what they think may or may not happen, how they could get to the point where there is peace in Ukraine. It's one of the things that Trump promised, look, and I think there's also something about that too. Trump really made a big deal about this, that I could stop it on day one, maybe even before I get in there. And that wasn't true, but he hadn't stopped. And on Friday, they met, and everybody freaked out. It's like, oh, my God, he let Putin touch the ground in Alaska. Oh, for God's sakes. What are we supposed to do? Not have any conversations with the guy that's driving the bus? You idiots. Democrats, I'm looking at you. You know what? It's really twisted that we have this world where the last thing you want is Trump to actually bring peace because it makes, quote unquote, your team look bad. What is that about? What is it about that? I mean, I don't care how we get to peace as long as we get to peace. We were talking earlier. The amount of lives that have been destroyed and lost by this. And Ray, you texted in something earlier. This has affected Russia in a major way. First, they've lost lives, about 300,000, maybe more. Injured, who knows how many. But the brain drain of young men and women who left Russia right after this is massive. Because they didn't want to be conscripted, because they knew after the first few days this thing was going to be a while. So, and yeah, Trump, I guess, you heard the Article 5 stuff. We're going to talk a little bit more about this coming up. I don't know what it looks like when they're done with this, because at the end of the day, Putin knows that he's got all of the cards at this moment in time. He can push, he can pull, He can decide yay or nay. This is also not just about land. There's got to be something more to it where he can go back to his people. Not only do we get land, we got rights on certain things, but I think everybody wants to get this done. And he also knows that Russia knows that Trump has already said he's not going to go after China with hardcore sanctions at all and tariffs, that, you know, he's not going to tariff him an extra 50% or something. And he's already hit India with a 50% tariff, and they just kind of went, whatever. So those are the big ones that help keep them afloat in their war economy because they're buying all that cheap oil. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about this. A lot of stuff still to get to. Reach out to us across all of our social media. You can text the program. Bell, tell everybody how they text the program.
615-737-9986.
There you go. You can do it straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Bulwark Capital, I want you to talk to them about helping you out when it comes to your investments, your retirement, your 401k, whatever you've got. Let them have a second peek at it. Give them a second set of eyes, a second opinion, maybe a fresh perspective. It's what they're doing over there, Bulwark. How would you like to have somebody go, hey, I looked at this. Man, you're doing great. Good luck to you. And they may say, hey, you got a bunch of hidden fees in here. You got some stuff where, you know, you want to retire in the next few years. You're never going to get there with what you have because you're not risking it, or maybe you're over-risking some stuff. Let them take a look at you. Their thing at Bulwark is lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, and maximize the opportunity in front of you. That's what's great about Bulwark. You get one retirement, make it work for you. So this is what I want you to do. Schedule a free Know Your Risk review today with my friends over at Bulwark Capital. 866-779-RISK, 866-779-RISK, or go to knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 25217.
All right, drivers in South Nashville, we got a crash blocking the left two lanes, 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike. TDOT says a crash is blocking the left lane of 65 northbound at Rosa Parks Boulevard. And then an injury crash blocking the right shoulder 40 westbound at Fessler's Lane. And President Trump just wrapped up a meeting ahead of the meeting with European leaders and Ukraine President Zelensky on ending the war with Russia. We'll get you some audio from that coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Ambassador, when you look at what's been reported about what is on the table regarding a potential peace deal, you're talking about some sort of security guarantees in the form of a reassurance force that President Trump, as you pointed out earlier, Jeff, would not rule out U.S. forces being a part of, even though he's been skeptical of it, expressed skepticism of it before. And then also this idea that there would be some kind of Article 5-like agreement between allies of Ukraine to intervene if Russia were to advance its incursions down the road. Is that actually enough to keep Vladimir Putin away from his ambition of remaking the Russian imperial order?
I think we're a long way from any of that. I can't wait till the MAGA base hears that Donald Trump has committed American combat forces, U.S. forces against Russian forces on the line in Ukraine if the Russians violate the ceasefire. One nuclear power directly against another nuclear power. I don't think that's what they signed up for with Donald Trump, and I don't think he's necessarily thought through that implication either. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize, and he wants it now.
That is John Bolton. No relation to Michael. Michael's better than John. Well, he does want a Nobel Peace Prize. And if he ends up getting this and Israel and Gaza somewhat bringing it somewhat to peace, which I don't think, I think the chances of that happening are slim to none. But I think if he can get this done, I think that how could you not? How could you not look and say this guy brought the war to an end? I mean, but it's a political thing too. It's politics. And, you know, and John Bolton, he wants the opposite of a Nobel Peace Prize. Do you have one for starting wars? Conflicts? Bombing people?
Yeah.
He'd bomb the ASPCA if he thought they were, oh, those dogs over there think they're going to invade my yard, are they? Clown. It's hard, though, because they're going to have to surrender land. And that's a tough thing because in their constitution, since 1996, Article 7.3 states that altering Ukraine's territory is an issue of national importance and must be decided by all Ukrainians as a referendum. So this prohibits the constitutional amendments that would violate Ukraine's territorial integrity. So what happens is, and a lot of people are like, Zelensky put this in. Zelensky didn't put this in. This predates him. It was 1996. He came into power in 2019. What would have to happen is everybody has to vote on it if they were to surrender the land. Now, they could say, think of it as a lease, right? You've leased the land in perpetuity because you've got bigger guns than we do. We still own the land, but as of now, it's yours to do with it as you feel because it is theirs. Like they took Crimea 12 years ago. Nobody did a thing. And they're going to take this. But they do, if they're, you know, it's, I mean, think about it. If we walk away, Europe's going to have to deal with this on their own. The fear is, what if they stepped it up and got to the point where they wanted to get, you know, froggy and jump somewhere else as they try to reunite the Soviet Union? And the next thing you know, they decide to do something stupid that drags Poland or somebody in, and then the Article 5 kicks in, and now we're having to squabble. The reality, Putin's going to go for as long as he possibly can. He's going to drag this out because he also likes the theatrics, and he doesn't care about the bodies because they're just a number.
Yeah, he's bombing Kharkiv right now.
Yeah, as we speak. And like you, man, the reality of this situation is he doesn't have to stop at all. And he's bombing as they're speaking this. And don't think that he didn't know when this was happening, what was going on. He knew exactly when. He wanted to make everybody know that his phone over there, Zelensky, is ringing right now because they're shelling Kharkiv and anywhere else they can. Anywhere else they can. He's got all the cards are on his side. This is his game at this moment in time. And if we walked away, it's going to be ugly. But I don't think Trump will. And I think Trump can get him to it. And I think it's going to be a financial thing, too. Bring in, I mean, he's talking about we're going to great. The trading's going to be awesome. We're going to open it up. It's going to be amazing. It's the stuff that he does. We're going to buy all your oil, and you can buy this, and we'll give you all the blue jeans you want, real Levi's, whatever he's going to do, and minerals and all that stuff. That's going to have to be huge for them. It can't just be stop and here's some land. It's got to be more than that. All right, coming up, we'll touch on a little bit more about this. Got some other stuff as well to get to. If you missed any of the show, we say shame on you because it is a shame. But we do have a podcast. Grab that. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Chad Benso, Super Talk 99.7.
2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And right now in our nation's capital, President Trump just wrapping up a meeting ahead of the meeting with European leaders and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky on ending the war with Russia.
In a certain period of time, not very far from now, a week or 2 weeks, we're going to know whether or not we're going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue? We'll do our best to get it ended.
All of the leaders expressed gratitude to President Trump for starting the talks. Zelensky and NATO Secretary General saying this has been the best talks yet. President Trump, as usual, taking questions about other matters. This was earlier in the day.
We're going to start with an executive order that's being written right now by the best lawyers in the country to end mail-in ballots.
And repeating claims they lead to voter fraud.
Mail-in ballots are corrupt. Mail-in ballots, you can never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots.
These claims have been refuted by several courts, election offices, audits, and other security checks in several locations. Newsmax is going to pay more than $100 million in settlements for falsehoods alleging election fraud back in 2020.
The cable channel settled with voting machine company Dominion last week and agreed to pay $67 million in 3 installments. Dominion had sued Newsmax for $1.6 billion in 2021. At the time, Newsmax said it was only reporting on newsworthy allegations that were made by public figures. The case was set to go to trial this fall in Delaware. Newsmax previously settled with another voting machine company, Smartmatic, for $40 million. Brian Clark, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys. Good friends. The best of the best. Busy Bee. Oh, yeah, Busy Bee. They got something for you. School's back. You guys know that. So they're bringing the big savings when it comes to things like, I don't know, septic issues. You got some of those? How about this? 15% off any septic work, main drain lines, and whole home repipes. But just in time for the school year, if you upgrade your HVAC system, this is awesome. You get entered in to win the Healthy Hive giveaway. That's a $1,500 sponsorship to a local school of your choice. Now, the school's got to be within the service area. And if you're thinking about what can I do to bribe the teacher, that's what I call it. Don't give them nobody wants an apple. Unless you get one of those ones that cost $25. No, this is better. Beehive Club. You join the Beehive Club. They're going to let you gift a membership to a local teacher, coach, faculty member, all within the service area. You buy one, you give one. It's that simple. They've got so many amazing deals. They're incredible. If you have any issues with your plumbing, your heating, they'll come out and take care of you. And they do great things in the community because they're the best around. Call Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling now, 775-7833, 775-7833, or you can schedule online at busybeehvac.com. All right, guys. The Wellness Institute of Nashville wants you to go to painisbad.com. Painisbad.com. Why is that? Because we're going to get rid of that pain, because painisbad.com. Big Daddy Trump special. $12 for comprehensive exam. X-rays if needed. What? That's it? No, but get ready for this. They're going to explain your diagnosis as well right there in your first treatment. If you've got an MRI, bring it. Dr. Ashley, Dr. Mitchell are incredible. Their goal, to get you up, to get you moving. You shouldn't have to live in pain. No surgery, no spinal injections, no painkillers. This is what it's all about. I'm telling you guys, they've got the best technology, period. You're not going to find anything like this around, and their knowledge, second to none. So you got back pain, neck pain, sciatic, slip disc, bulging spinal disc, you name it. They're going to help you out with this. It's $12 right now. Comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed. Right there. It's the Big Daddy Trump special. Call 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009 or painisbad.com. Down, down, down. Bow, bow. Somebody asked me what I think of Zelensky. I think he is what he is. I think he stood tall when he needed to. And I think, like all people, they want to see this thing through. And I'm sure, look, being the Time Person of the Year, being all that, that's got to go to you. That does. But is it time for them to move on? It's time for them to finish this war. This is what it is. Whatever Putin wanted to do, he's done. And it's time for them to finish it. It's not helping them in the long run. We talked about how much it's hurt them. And it's not going to help the Ukrainians. It's over. It's done. It's dusted. You're not going to give up the land, right, through a vote. But most of the people are over it. Go back and look. That was it. Like just after the war, was like a year into it, there's 77% of people are like, we got to fight. We got to fight. Now it's down to like 20-some percent because they realize they're running out of people to even do the survey on. That's not a good thing. It's not. So I think it's time for them to figure out how they move on. But as far as like, what was it? Was it last week you said, Ken, that they wanted them to demilitarize?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw where one of Putin's demands was that Ukraine demilitarize.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. That is never going to happen. I mean,
then what sort of guarantee do you have?
Yeah, because if they demilitarize, if that's it, you know what that means? That we're their military.
Exactly.
And you even heard, what's her name? Maroni, the Italian. She said, no, they've got to have a strong military because they don't want to fight their wars.
No.
They don't. I mean, if they demilitarize and I'm Trump, I just tell Belarus and everybody next to him, just go and invade him, do whatever you want to him. I'm not doing it. But, I mean, they're just a vassal state for them, but still. So, no, demilitarize, not going to happen. And the Article 5 kind of thing that they're talking about, it's a different thing. It's not an Article 5 as we would know it, because if they got attacked by, Moldova, we're not going to get into that. If they attacked somebody, that's not us. But if Russia was to step, well, that's a different issue. It is. Now, we asked them to get rid of him. Everybody did, right? We're like, oh, my God, you guys are independent. You voted for your independence and all of this stuff. And everybody's like, but you got to give up your weapons back in the day. And we're like, we'll protect you. And by the way, their nuclear weapons, they had all the stuff. You know what they didn't have? They didn't have the codes. It's one of the things they didn't have. Most people don't know that. And part of the reason we wanted to give them up is because once the wall went sideways, came down, right, the Iron Curtain fell apart, man, there was so much stuff available. There was so much stuff available out there. You could just go buy. And the fear was they were going to go sell it to somebody who could try to figure out how to refit it and do certain things to it. And so we wanted them to give it up. And they thought, well, you'll be behind us. And we're like, yeah, totally. We got this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's no doubt, though, that this is not going to be tomorrow. Trump says he's going to call him right afterwards. Putin, I spoke to him, and I think they're willing to give you everything you want. And are they, I think Ken said they're bombing Kharkiv as we speak.
Yes.
Think about that. Think about that. Do you think, somebody's texted in 8064, do you think Ukraine war is to keep us distracted and deplete our stuff is so China can invade Taiwan? China can, first of all, the AI stuff, we're far ahead in the AI world. Just don't worry about that. We are far ahead. As far as Taiwan, China could take Taiwan today. We always worry that, it's going to start something. If Taiwan fights back, they're going to make it a nightmare for China. They will. And eventually, you may win, but if you destroy everything there, what did you win? So I don't think they want to. Plus, they realize that they would be the pariah of the world at this moment in time. They would go from, they would be the Russia and the Israel right now of the world, but times a million. Because everybody would be like, oh, really? And then they can't handle that at this moment in time.
China seems to prefer to wage war on the economic level.
Yeah, it's easier for them at this moment in time. And, they'll go back and forth with that. But the thought of, they recognize how hard it would be to take it. They like to scare. I think the goal would be for them to really find out, hey, how much do you guys in Taiwan really want to fight over this? Maybe you don't want to fight so much. Maybe you're just willing to come back over here. And I think they'll find out that's not it. But they don't want, man, you're going to destroy that. If they really got into it, that island's going to be destroyed. And what do you have? All the stuff you want. It's going to be gone. I mean, that's just, and the fact that the other side that's hurting them is the fact that the chips, they're trying to move chips and manufacturing everywhere, which is not a good thing for them because they need that. I mean, Trump cut a deal with them last week with NVIDIA for 15% of whatever they sell to China. That's what we get. But I'm sorry, I thought that was a crappy deal. Why? Because I don't want them to get any powerful chips, even if it's second generation. We don't want any part of that. We want to make sure that we are the leaders and they have to come from so far behind. Yeah, but China wants no part of that. And if they want Taiwan, they're going to take it. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to go to war over Taiwan. We just won't. I mean, they would have to do something so insane as to do that, to try to drag us into war. They don't want that. First of all, because as much as India and us, we argue over tariffs and this, that, and the other, India is always looking for a reason to go fight. They fight China every day.
Yeah, they have fist fights.
Yeah.
On those YouTube videos are.
If you've never seen, China,
they hate each other.
India's got Pakistan on one side, China on the other, and at the borders, they go and fight each other all the time. And like you said, fist fights.
Yeah.
They cross the line and they start throwing blows and they run back across. And so now they don't want India coming down on them because they're also a nuclear power and they're really close by.
And they've got a lot of soldiers too.
They do. And a lot of people, as we found out earlier. What was it earlier? Somebody said, 24 million people a year. So they lose 600,000 people to people moving mostly over here and elsewhere. And they average about 23 to 24 million people net a year.
Goodness.
That is huge.
Eventually they're going to run out of room.
Well, they'll probably tip over.
The current population of India, according to Worldometer, is 1,465,000,000.
That's a lot of folk. I mean, that is a ton of people. I mean, I don't even, you look at that and you're like, they're going at such a rate. And you know what's happening? China is not going at that rate. Go look at China. China is losing every single day from the one kid policy, right? And then what happened? Well, the kid you wanted back in the day was a boy.
Yeah.
So if you got a girl, maybe something happened. Maybe it didn't. Maybe they gave it up for adoption. Well, guess what? After a while, what you have? Sausage party. And you're not having babies.
I'm sorry, I said trillion. I meant billion.
Yeah, trillion, billion. It'll be a trillion in an hour or two.
I mean, what's the difference, man?
But, you're having a party that isn't, baby friendly. Did you laugh at that? Bell laughed at the sausage party.
That was pretty funny.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, so but that's man. He didn't show up in a T-shirt. He's not in a T-shirt. Everybody wants to know if Zelensky's, somebody was like, he's not in a T-shirt. He's in a long black coat. I feel like was it Blackwell that used to tell everybody how good or bad they dressed? That guy, remember that? So he's in a long black coat with a button-up shirt. I don't know if he's wearing a tie or not, but he looks good.
He does.
He does.
And he actually said, according to the BBC, Zelensky said, these are the best talks yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think there is something. I think Trump does want a Nobel Prize.
Sure he does.
And for a lot of you out there, it's like, oh, that's stupid. You know what? For Trump, understand, a lot of this stuff is legacy. You start getting to a certain age, everybody thinks about their legacy. Trump thinks about it in a way that is like history books. And stopping this war would be a big deal for him. A big deal for everybody. Big deal for the Ukrainians. Huge deal for the Russians.
Yeah, because, under Biden, this was not going to happen.
No.
Joe was not going to bring everybody together to talk.
And Joe wasn't even interested in talking to Putin. Send over a delegation or somebody. What are you going to send over? No. Putin wanted the show, and he got it, right? And then he had to walk through all, the Raptors and all that stuff. And, and he got the little flyover and the whole 9 yards. He wanted the show. He wanted to feel good back in the world again. He got it. And that's what you're supposed to do. Part of the show is us showing you the show. I don't know what people thought was going to happen. I'm telling you, I think they thought they were just going to take him into a room at the YMCA and sit at a card table, right? Serve him stale snacks. This is what you get.
Yeah, they're gonna meet in a tent.
That'd have been awesome. That would have been great. Trump's like, the tent is going to be huge. It's going to be gold. It's a gold tent.
We're gonna have steak.
I just watching people want our president to fail because they can't stand the fact that he may succeed. And Trump's very honest. He goes, I don't know if it'll work, because when all is said and done, it's still between two men and two countries that aren't us.
That's right there, man.
That's not us. We're not Ukraine. We're not. And we're not Russia. So when all is said and done, those two guys, if Trump even manages to get them in the same room,
that'll be something.
That would be something.
Wow.
I mean, it would. It would be absolutely incredible. And I think they will. Zelensky, I think he wants it. But Putin, right now, his forces are moving. He's bombing, like you said, right now as we speak. He is giving it to Kharkiv and anywhere else, any of the Kievs he can give it to.
Yeah.
And he's going to continue to do it until he gets everything he wants, or he feels like I have more than proved my point. Whatever that point is. Nazis or NATO, or these people are Russian speakers and they wanted to be with us anyways.
Are there a bunch of Nazis in Ukraine?
That was the whole thing, right? Like at the beginning of this, they had a group of people that were socialist, that they, like these National Socialist wannabes that were part of this group. But
okay.
But that wasn't, it was all, anything he said was because he wanted to.
He just wanted to.
There you go. Yeah. It's what he wanted. He wants to reunite a portion of the motherland, and he wants to show everybody, look at me. I'm the master. I can do what I want.
Kind of like the T-shirt Lavrov was wearing.
Yes, exactly.
At Friday's summit. What was it, the CCCP or something?
Lavrov, though, his was a troll on a T-shirt. Putin's troll was 1 million plus people dying and getting injured and wrecking a nation.
Yeah.
And losing 300,000 of your young and watching another 2 to 4 million young people leave your nation, your brain, that's a brain drain. That is huge. I don't think people really understand losing that many young people who bounce because they want no part of what you're doing, because they know what was coming. They know they were just going to be a number. And those brains are elsewhere. And you think they're coming home? Do you think at any chance while Putin's alive, those guys would ever, or gals would ever come home?
That's a death wish.
Hell no. Hell no. Coming up, Matt, the welcome Matt, is here. He's going to join the program straight ahead as we wrap it up on this Monday right here on the Chad Benches House Super Talk 997. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com/Chad. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9. All these incredible things packed into an amazing supplement you give your dog on a daily basis. Much like we reach for an energy drink, a smoothie, something like that. This is what this does for your animal. It's supplements, number one supplement in America for dogs. And it helps them in everything that you can think of, from your energy levels to their digestive tract, to their fur, right? Their coat, their skin, just to name a few things. As well as the thing that I love, especially for my older dogs, is it helps with their aches and pains in their joints, gets them more mobile. I want you to try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens today. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. It's a few bucks. They send it to you. It's a $20 value. When you get it, 1 scoop a day and watch what happens. ruffgreens.com/Chad. That's ruffgreens.com/Chad. Get your free bag of Rough Greens now. ruffgreens.com/Chad. Matt's here. It's the welcome mat, which I didn't come up with. Somebody else did. Several people online did.
It's funny. I think both you and I said it's the welcome mat. I didn't come up with that. Somebody else came up with it.
I did come up with it. Somebody else did.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing? Shoulder time. We were talking earlier.
Shoulder time.
Because I asked Ken in there because if he would go through the leg lengthening surgery, and he is first of all, Ken's like he's cool with the ladies, so it doesn't even matter, right? He's not worried. He's short. He's a short king. That's what he told me. The leg lengthening surgery is the most excruciating thing.
I can't. Why would you do that? I don't.
Because people have issue being 5'5", I guess.
There are plenty of. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to. You know what? If it were my show, I would say it. I was going to say there are other things that I could think before legs.
Yeah. Well, I know that.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what else? The money side of stuff. So we did the study out of Chicago several years ago that if you're 5 foot, you have to earn over $360,000 to be the same attractiveness as somebody who's 6 foot.
I just want to get back to the day, and I think, Chad, I don't want to speak for you, but I think I speak for both of us in this room and for Ken Weaver. I just want to get back to the Henry VIII days where, robust men were insanely attractive to
because
women.
you know why? We had food, okay?
Right, exactly
We could eat. You guys are all broke ass.
That's exactly
we could eat.
Right. All these poor little skinny waifs out there.
That's right.
Go be with those guys and you'll starve to death. Come with me, I'll get you a turkey leg.
Well, instead of jumping out of a Ferrari, you're holding up a turkey leg.
Well, and the grapes were seedless.
Heck yeah, they are.
That's right.
Because we have our peons seed them for us.
That's right. And then feed them to us. Because
By mouth.
So awesome. But we were talking like how gnarly it is where you have to 1 millimeter. They break your tibula or fibula.
It's crazy.
They stretch it out.
And then they stretch so they have to get They have to get the bones to regrow.
But you also have to stretch out all of your nerves, your tendons, and your muscles.
What is it that? For the love, I'm for a long time I said I was 6 foot, and I was lying the whole time. I knew I was lying. I'm 5'11" and 1/4.
That's okay.
And so now I don't even. So I'm 5'11", let's say. How bad is 5'4" that you would do that? I don't.
Older guys.
I'm not asking anyone in particular, by the way.
I'll tell you my next wellness check because I've been losing about a ½ inch every year I go.
Oh, are you serious?
What did you start at, Ken?
So
6'3".
as a senior in high school, I was 5'8.5". I am now 5'5.5".
You've lost 3 inches?
Yeah.
We got to send you up in space so you can stretch out.
Either that or maybe they were lying in high school.
Maybe.
And I was always 5'6".
Trying to get you on the basketball team.
Man, that's crazy. 3 inches. Dude, at this rate,
That's
you're
a
going
lot.
to disappear in the next few years.
That's Lily Tomlin, the incredible shrinking woman territory.
I need to go hang upside down.
Get the teeter hang up.
Yeah, I didn't catch the Incredible Shrinking Man. I caught the remake of it. Did you ever see that movie with Lily Tomlin? She was the Incredible Shrinking Woman.
Yeah.
She got smaller and smaller. That's Ken Weaver.
That's Ken Weaver. Right
I'm a little fella.
Just a little. You had sex with the little fella?
Not for any amount of money in the world, would you? Not for any amount of money in the world.
No. Oh,
would you pay that little fellow? I'm gonna pay that little fellow.
What are you talking about today?
I got Bill Haggerty on the show. Senator Bill Haggerty. We're going to find out if where he is on pot. Right? I mean, everybody else is asking everybody else, so why not ask him?
We might as well.
Might as well. Haggerty's on. Who else do I got I'm for some reason they're letting me moderate a debate. So we'll discuss.
Where?
I know, I don't. 7th Congressional District debate out at the Cabaret. If you've never been. Cabaret's great.
Oh,
Ray Stevens. Oh, yeah. And then, so we got that. And Todd Starnes is hawking a book from Memphis. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the welcome mat is over because Matt is here. Have a good one. Do it tomorrow.